Yeah, good day, guys, and welcome back to the first phase of our training. Like I said, and like I said before, and as I was been saying, that you need to take this serious, see it as an opportunity, because I believe following your dreams, you discover that you won't remain the same at the end of this training. So this one being the first episode, I'm going to walk you through step by steps like a novice how you can be independent designer and how you can create a captivating design and how you can even spell out whatever you join together to make everything okay and how you can explain them. Okay. So without wasting much of our time, let's get started. Now you understand how to select size by now, watching all the previous video. So I want to use the size here because I want it to be bigger. I want to use 905 by 1280. Okay. That one will give me this. After getting this, I need something like a white background, okay? Because the design I want to make is a kind of a spa, something like a beauty, okay? So in creating that, I will try and do this. I will select a white shape. I don't want this kind of one shape. I want it to be modified. And how can I modify that to make it cool? I want the background to not to be something regular like this. I want it to beautify my design. I want to give it an hierarchy, okay? So what will I do? I will select this particular shape. Then after that, I will go to my texture. I have a line, I have a white something like a wave object. So I will select bring this, okay? And then I will go to shape. I mean uh uh to the template. I will just crop it like this and use it as a texture. So at the end of the day, it will give me something of this nature, right? Cool. After getting that, what is the next thing to do? I will lock it. After locking it, then I need a kind of a shape. You are going to learn how to use a mask like a pro now. I will select a shape. So once I'm having this particular shape, you see, I will have this shape. Just crop it like this and you position it here. After you position, then the next thing is you use your relative position it to the center. Now heading back to the mask, when you select the mask, it has 4 points. We have the one at the left, one at the right, one up and down. The one I needed is the one at the right, or the left, sorry. I will tap on it, then I will move it towards the edge up here. Please follow what I'm doing. After you do that, the next thing you will do is to move this one out. You can see, right? Then you tap on this one and you try at least to activate it. Okay, you try at least to activate it. You can even do this by moving this one out and you activate this by moving it here. So after you move it here, you can see that you have two lines, one at this corner, this one at this corner, facing each other. Then you are going to stretch this one down. Why this one will what? We go up like this. Okay. So if this one go up like this, then this one will go down like this. So we have this something of this nature, and this one will just go up like this. Okay, we just grow up. Why this one will be like this? So we make sure that it really does what we wanted. Okay. So and I guess this is cool. Like, okay, perfect. So now what we need to do next? So what we need to do next is to we will not allow it to have it too much curve. We are going to enable the mask. After that, we are going to duplicate by click on duplicate. After you duplicate, do you know what you need to do? You need to set it. Set the mouth. Let it face each other. I mean, let it touch each other. Do you understand? Then you stretch it out like this. Why you stretch this one out like this? Okay, perfect. Let it curve out each other. Okay, perfect. Now, what do you need to do? We go back to enable the mask mode. Click on out. Then you have this particular stuff. Perfect. Close the mouth very well so that I can form exactly the shape you want. Okay. So once you are able to have that, the rest are so simple. So just bring this one down. Then you tap OK. Let's see what we just make. Okay. Go to the color, change the color. Okay. So we're going to change the color. You can cut out these two parts. And if you don't want to cut it out yet, you can still readjust so that those amounts will not just be showing anymore. So let's see. So we have something of this nature. So we can cut out this part by just position this here. So after you position, we go to the lock. Okay. We're going to merge the two together. Then after merging, we are going to go to eraser. To erase color. Then we erase it. When you are able to do that, then the next thing we are going to do is to rotate a bit. So when you rotate a bit, what is the next thing to do? Stretch it out like this. Okay? Perfect. Perfect. So when you stretch it out and you can rotate, it depends on your choice. So you can rotate it just as perfect as this. So after your rotation, we are going to increase the size a little bit. Okay? Not much. So it has to be on the safe side. So reduce the size a bit. Okay, perfect. So once you are able to do that, we are going to rotate. So we are going to rotate this up a bit. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So we can stretch this a bit. So we have this result. So I guess we are cool like this. So what do we need to do next? We need to change the color to this. So I'm changing the color by using a gradient. It will give me exactly like this, but I want it to calm down. So instead of that, I will just position this here, while this will come here. So I will have something of this nature for me to be able to have the color down below. Okay, perfect. So after that, I will copy. So after copy the same thing, what do I need to do? I will go in back to my 3D rotate for me to switch it just as perfect as this. After switching, what do I need to do? I will rotate it like this just to make the mouth face each other just as perfect as this. You can see, right? So I can now increase this a little bit to do the work for me. So I will increase it a bit. So why this one will just do the work for me. So you can see, right? This one will still perform a little function. So reduce the size a bit and you'll have it. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So now that you have the work in your hands, what do we need to do next? So, and I guess we need to rotate this very well. Rotate it very well. It will give us the accurate stuff. Now, heading back to your gallery. So when you get to your gallery, we are going to bring some images across, okay? But before we bring those images, there are two things. We can edit the image before we take it there. So the application I was telling you that you need to be using, you need to use them. But I prefer to do the overall editing at the end of the day. So what do I need to do? So I will select this particular image, picture. So when I select that, I will have this. Okay, so once I have that, I will position this one in. Okay, I will position it in. I will send it to the back. Okay, it will be at the back of this image. So once I have that, what do I need to do next? Okay, I guess I need to just edit properly to make it work. Okay, so what do I need to do? I will lock this image. After locking it, I will lock this. Then it will remain this. So I will select this one, bringing it down a bit. Okay. Then I will rotate it a little bit. So not much. So once I rotate, I will increase the size a bit. Just rotate like this. Okay, perfect. So now that I'm able to do that, then the next thing I need to do is to reduce the size a bit. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So after that has been done, I will shift this one a little bit. Okay, then shift it down. Okay, we are making sense. Then we lock this. So we go to the second one. How will that one be? So we need to just adjust this and make it work. So I need to just go in there, shift the image a little bit. Okay. So after shifting the images, I guess I need the image to enter very well. Okay. So, and I guess this is cool. So after making the image enter like this, then the next thing I need to do is to let me rotate a little bit. So I guess this is cool. So after rotating it a bit, then I will move this particular stuff, I will move it over just a little bit. So after moving it over, I will, okay, I will increase the size a bit. Just increase the size a bit. So let me rotate this. Rotate very well. So I guess this is cool. So the next thing I will just do around this corner is just for me to cut out some pets. And how am I going to do that? So I will just come to locking, then go to the image. Hope we are not wasting much time. I will go to the image. So after going to the image, I will just use my mask to cut out those parts. So turn on your mask, enable. So immediately you enable, you just crop it out. Just measure the line, okay? Don't panic. Just measure the line exactly. Then you click out. So whatever you want to cut out will be outer. Okay? So you come here, you are going to just cut out like this. Don't let it show here. So it will just cut within this frame. So after you're able to do that, then you can see this is okay. This is exactly the way we want it. So now that you have that, then the next thing we can do is to try at least to do something quick and see whether that will work. So we go in there, then we have this particular stuff. So once we have this stuff, then we need to just bring the image down a bit. So we lock it. Then we are going to bring this one down a bit. Okay, because it must be in between. So once that we have that, okay, we have this, it will be very easy. So we just need to rotate. Just let's rotate a bit. So after the rotation, we unlock and we stretch it. So after stretching, we can now rotate. Okay, we can rotate. Okay, perfect. We can rotate just as perfect as this. So once we are able to do this, then the next thing we will do is just for us to, let me close this a bit. We increase the size a bit. So once you do that, you just rotate like this. It will give you exactly what you want. So once you are able to do that, then the next thing is to lock the stuff. We rotate a bit, then we lock the whole stuff. So the mouth will be cool. Okay. Okay, perfect. uh, Perfect. So we'll make sure that we lock this. So after locking, we arrange this again by bringing this one here, and we shift this towards edge. Then we have this result. So now that you have that result, then the next thing we can do, we want to shift that one up. So we need to deal with one. So I'm trying at least to show you everything without hiding anything. Okay, so we need to just adjust this a little bit. And how are we going to adjust that? We just need to bring this one here, because the line, so after bringing it here, we rotate a little bit. So when you rotate, you have this. So once you have that, this will be able to come down. Okay, perfect. So now you have this, then you have it saved. So the image you have here, you can just allow it to be on top of this. So we increase the size a bit. Just increase the size a bit where you have this particular result. Okay, perfect. We can reduce the size and have a way of positioning it here. Okay, perfect. Perfect. There is another thing I'm thinking of doing. So after you position this here, what do you need to do next? So we go in there, we have this one lock. So I still have a bad feeling with this. We need to close it a little bit. So what do we need to do? So I need to just tap here. So after tapping, then I move it to one side and I close it a bit. So after closing, I will position it here. Then it will give me this result, so which I don't want. So I will move it to one side, increase the size a little bit, then reposition. After reposition, it should be able to close a little bit. Perfect. Then I will go to rotation and rotate it a bit. So after the rotation, it give me exactly what I want. I will just lock it. Now I'm good to go. Now to put a finishing touch to everything, I will go in back to my gallery. I have the image which I want to use. So take it for instance, I have this image. So I will position this image at the back of this stuff. And how will that be? I will just send it towards the back of everything, and it will give me this particular result. So how am I going to cut it out? So I need to cut out some part here. I only need some part to just showcase. So how that can be, okay? So I need to just do the whole work. Very simple, okay? To make everything plumb. So I need to use my mask again. So everything basically is on max. Enable your max and you take it out. If this thing is too big, just come to the action. The one at the middle, use it to reduce the size. Tap OK. We have this four corner arrow. Tap on it. So that one will allow you to move it to any way you want. After that, click on Bezier tools. Then you can shift this. Okay, you can shift it to any area that you want. Then you shift this one too to the area of your choice. Okay, so now I can shift it, then cut it the way I want. So, and when you look at it, there is no any other particle that is showing anymore. Everything seems to be cool, and I want it that way. So I don't see anyone that is overlapping anymore. So I will do everything perfectly by shifting my mask toward this side. You can see, right? So everything will be able to perfect. So I will tap OK. Now I'm going to go. So the next thing is that I see Kanta here. I will just bring this one down a bit until when it's showing nothing again. Okay. So if it is not going, shift it to the front a bit. Okay. For you to be able to adjust this very well, then you shift it back. You have your result. Everything is seem to be cool. Perfect. After you're able to do that, what's the next thing to do at this juncture? Everything seems to be cool, right? So what do we need to do? So I'm thinking of shifting this down a bit. Or if I'm not doing that, I will increase the size a little bit. Okay, or leave it like that. After leaving it that way, I have this particular result. I have exactly this particular result of my choice. Okay, perfect. So the next thing I'm going to do after having that result, I'm going to just lock everything. Then have this one adjust a little bit. So once I'm able to do that, everything seems to be plumb. I will go to my shape just as this. So after getting to the shape, I will go in there and position this. Okay, just position this here. After position, I will give it a black color. Just give it a black color. Then reduce the opacity. Go in there, reduce the opacity. Or reduce the opacity a little bit. So after that, I will be the one to create a shape for myself. I mean the logo. Just type a lazy spa. So those are the things that you need to pay attention to. It requires a logo for that brand, okay? So which font are we going to use? That's why I want this to be compressive. I want to use Grains Bold. I've thought about it. I look at the font and it serves as a kind of, it's good for a logo. So I can use and come out with a little spare logo here. So like I said, I use a font called, let me recheck for you to see. So I use this font called Grains Bold. How will you locate that font? So when you come here, Grains, you can see Grains font. So I will just tap OK. On my Google, right? You can see this is the font. I will just go in there, tap anyone among all these websites and it will load it. So after loading, I'll proceed and download. So I will just type download fast. So immediately it's done downloading, I must have a Z archiver on my phone. Do you understand? So this is downloading now. So I will wait for it to ask me to open. Then I have a Z archiver on my phone to extract. So immediately it download or you don't see it, tap on three line dots and go to download. It's still downloading, you can see, right? so we can be doing other things. I just want to show you how it look like. So once you are able to do that, I want to go and bring a flower to make it, because remember it's a kind of a spa logo. So I will bring this particular flower. Okay, I will reduce the size very well. Then I will come and position it here. Okay, perfect. I'll position it here. Perfect. So this is the logo. It's just a simple logo which I create for this. So let me shift it to one side. So we have what we call a lazy spa. So I will move it to that side. So we have lazy spa. So after having that, then the next thing I'm going to do is to have a shape like this. So I will go to the color, give it this color. Then I will go to opacity, reduce the opacity a little bit. Then I will have somewhere to position it, just as perfect as this. I will position it here. Then another thing I will do at this particular juncture is to have a shape. So I will have this particular shape. You can see, right? So once I have this shape, what do I need to do with it? So I will go to my mask. So when I get to my mask, I will just bring one here, okay? Or I will bring it up a little bit. So after bringing it up, I will have two particular places. One here, I will bring it here. Then I will just position another one here. So I will be able to use it to control. So I will have one here. Why this one will be able to do a kind of a little work for me. So I will use that one as a kind of a boldness here. Okay. So if it is too much, you can just bring them in. Then you position it here. So I will position this to hide it here. Why I will have this? So you can see what I'm trying to form. So I will just form a kind of a little shape here. Why I will hide it? So it will give me this particular shape. Okay. So I will not make it to be too obvious. So I can just have something of this nature. So once I'm able to have this, I will tap OK. Then I will go to the color. I will give it a green color of that choice. Okay. And then I will make it to be more obvious. Okay. Just stage it like this. And then I will have it positioned under here. Just here. So once I have that, I will send it to the back, while I will bring it to the front and have it lock. So you can see what I achieve here. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to go for more inquiry. I will go to the shape for more info. So I will just keep this one here first. And then I will go to color, then give it a black color. Then after that, I'll put in the phone number. Let's say I have two phone number, plus 234 7034 660781 plus 234 8116264170. So I will position this, keep it. I've not decided. So after that has been done, I will change the color to black as well. Then the next thing is to put in all the Gmail of my choice. Remember, this is a lazy spa. So I have the lazy underscore, lazy spa at gmail.com. Then I have www.lazy spa.com underscore spa.com, thinking at sparrow.com. So I will position that around here. So that one is there. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to go and bring one particular shape. So I'm bringing a shape to locate it around here. So I will quickly position this around here to make it okay. So I will increase the size very well. Then I will have it position around there. Okay, perfect. So once I'm able to position this here, I will lock it. I will now go to my Pixellab, my WhatsApp. So what do I want to do here? I need to scan, I need a barcode. So once I have one, I will just screenshot, just crop out this barcode, crop it. After that, you save. So go back to where you are doing something. Then you are going to import it here, just the way you crop it. Then reduce the size very well to make sure that it's aligned with this. Then you are going to position it here. Okay, perfect. So after we're able to do that, then it remained just an arrangement. So I'm going to quickly go into the shape. After going to the shape, I will select this. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to position this around here. Okay. So after positioning, I will tap OK. Then I will go to the shape, to the text area, then put services, okay, in plural, because they are not offering one particular services. So after that, you are going to position that here. So once you are able to do that, copy, then we position whatever the services was, we'll position it here and give it a bulletin. Just give it a bulletin one after the other. So there must be a hierarchy here too, okay? What do I mean by hierarchy? This bulletin should have different color apart from the color of the text, okay? So when you have this, you make it rhyme to be in line. So massage foot. So you give this one another one. So when you are able to do this, then the next thing we need to do is to reduce the size. So when you reduce the size, we are going to space it very well. So I'm spacing it. So which font? I need to use a kind of a font that will tall and will be able to give me exactly what I want. So I will go in there looking for a font that is tall and stand out, okay? So I will go in there and use a font called Roboto. We have a Roboto that are tall and can serve exactly what I wanted. So I will give it this. So and when you look at it, it gives me exactly what I wanted. Even the massage I'm even hiding, it can even stay where I want it to stay. So you can see, right? Then we just need to increase, or we can turn this back. So let's repeat the previous process, or we leave it. So we have this. So immediately we have this, we go to the fonts, then we have it change as well. So after you change that, you can increase the size. a little bit. After you increasing the size, let there be space in between the alphabet. So the reason why we are doing that is to make it to be readable. Okay, very good. So now that you have that, you have to deal with this left side. So make this one justify. So what we call justify is that don't let it move to the left or the right too much. Then the same thing with this shape. Okay, there must be an hierarchy. So when you position that here, then the next thing is to just put all this one, give it a finishing touch. So position it around here. Then which font are we going to use? We have what we call a font family. Okay, we have what we call Montezera. Montezera are many. We have the bold one, we have the lighter one. So I'm going to use the one that is not bold too much. So very lighter. So let me try and use something like Montezera semi bold. So if I use semi bold, I will go to the color, double the color by clicking the plus sign and increase it like this. It will be darker. So once I'm able to do that, I have to make all these phone number to be bold. Okay, so what do I need to do? I will go with an archivo. Archivo is somehow flat. I can give me exactly what I want, but it can't bold. Okay, but I need to manage it. So I will use something of this nature, which you can see. But if those who don't want to give me exactly what I want, I will go back to Montezera. So if I go to Montezera, I will use the border one, reduce the size very well. After reduction, I will let there be space in between the number, just as this. I will close the space a little bit in between the number. Then once I'm able to do that, I will adjust this very well. Just adjust. So after the adjustment, I will reduce the size. For more info, reduce the size and let there be a jungle space in between. So after that has been done, then the next thing is to put in the two Gmail. So how are we going to do that? I will go to the font. Okay, so when I get to the font, the archivo, I was telling you I will use an archivo. So I will answer all your questions. Okay, that is why I'm not rushing. So I'm going to position the email here. Okay, so the email, I will just position it here. Okay, perfect. So if I want to make this one to be more okay, I can just shift this a little bit and do the finishing touch into that. Okay, but I prefer to just make it look real. Okay, perfect. So now everything, when you look at it, we are done and everything seemed to be cool the way it was. But I want to just add this. Let's say email, then you put an hyphen, then here you just put visit. Okay, so this one should be done. We have visit. So this visit, now we just position the two here and it will make it look make sense. So now under the phone number we have call, then we'll put this. Under this we will have chat. Okay, chat, then we'll put this. Okay, so we'll position that there. So this one will be able to give us exactly what we want. So, and I can make this one to come off first. Okay, and then I will increase the size a little bit. After that, I will bring this one down a bit. I will increase the size to this a little bit as well. So both will give me exactly what I want. Why did I make the call icon? I mean the call, the core text, why did I make it to be bold? Is because I give it a different hierarchy. But the one that I refuse to make bold doesn't mean I don't give it an hierarchy, but I give them a different hierarchy so that people can be able to look at that side because they are very important. What is the essence of advertisement without the contacts? Okay, that is why I make it to look like that. You might be wondering, how do you come up with that? So you make sure you give an hierarchy. You can make one to be bold, you can make the other one not to be bold. But I look at it, there is an error here. When you look at for more info, that one needs to be given an hierarchy as well. So I prefer to make it bold a little bit. So I will go to the font and change the font to make it bold. Okay, I will make it bold. Okay, perfect. So, and I will increase the size. So after that has been done, I guess we are good to go and we are done with our design. So another thing is that we can just add a stroke, okay, to this to make this to be stand out and make it to be noticeable. You understand? And when you look at it, it gives us exactly what we want. So thanks for watching, guys. I believe we'll learn something from here. This is the first training. I want you to come up with something and I want you to grab some things here. Like the one I painted. If you don't have the font I'm using, I told you, once you search the name of the font like this, just tap it. Immediately you done downloading. Then the Z cover will pop up. Tap on it, open it with once. You will see the name of that font here. Open it. All these are the font family of what I have. Click on this three line dot. How are you going to know? All fonts will end with .ttf or .tt. So just tap the three line dot. If there are many, more than one, click on multi-select, click on mark, select all, and tap on the arrow at the bottom until when you are be able to achieve it. You can see I'm replacing because I have it. And you will see archive successfully decompressed. So when you search your Pixellab, you'll be able to find it. That is how you are going to download the Multisera font. If you don't have it, you can just go into your, I will explain that, okay, in the next video. Just have your work being saved here. Have your work being saved as a PNG and as an Ultra. So wait for the next video.